We are going to start with this topic right here that I saw that crossed my wake. High costs mean fewer teen drivers. And the only words that I saw immediately were fewer teen drivers, which I thought, well, hallelujah. But there's what could be better for the universe than fewer teen drivers out there on the roads? If you're a parent of a teen or raised a teen, you know what I'm talking about. But that brings me to sort of the dichotomy of this. One of the greatest days of my life was, well, we'll call it a series of unfolding events, because it wasn't one moment in my life. But one of the greatest series of unfolding events in my life was when the series of events of teaching my daughter how to drive, having her get her learner's permit, then get her driver's license, and then the family acquiring another set of wheels so that she could drive. It's so liberating. If you had a teenager, or if you currently have a teenager, 16, 17, 18 years old, that's living with you, that's still in high school, you know what I'm talking about. You know that sense of freedom, that overwhelming tide of liberty that washes over you, knowing that you are no longer 100% beholden to driving this child everywhere, to all the practices and all the school events and all the games and all the friends and all the movies and all the stuff. Oh, glory, hallelujah. And they can actually do some things for you in return, run some errands. But again, dichotomy within a dichotomy. It's also terrifying putting your child out behind the wheel on the road when they have just gotten that driver's license. So while it's wonderful to have fewer unqualified, untrained drivers on the road, like I said, this is what hit me in this headline. It's also quite a magnificent event in every parent's life when they get the child out from underneath their complete umbrella of responsibility, and they can go drive and do things on their own. But again, dichotomy within that dichotomy is it's terrifying putting your kid out on the road. But if you dig into the crosstabs, as they say here, and you look at the stat, the number of 19-year-olds, not 16-year-olds. These are adults, 19. The number of 19-year-olds with driver's licenses has been dwindling over the past 40 years, from 87.3% in 1983 to 68.7% in 2022. That is a huge drop for something that here in the United States is considered an utterly, not just a fundamental part of your life, a need, fulfilling the need for you to get places, to get to work, to get to school, to get to your social stuff. But it's also a bit of a rite of passage, has always kind of been a rite of a passage for American teenagers, getting that license. It's freedom. It was, when I was 16, 126,000 years ago, that was the first big step in your life, and getting that little bit of freedom, which of course comes with its own dichotomy, because not only on the flip side, if you are the teenager, now your parents are asking you to do stuff. But it seems to be, and if you're from an urban area, a large urban area with a really dense population and pretty comprehensive public transportation, this is not so much a thing to you. But for everybody else in all the other corners of America, this is a big number. This is an interesting trend, and just like everything else in this freaking culture, it seems to be coming down, because someone goes down to point out here that it's not so much this. The headline of the article tells you that it's a high cost, and so it goes on to break down the cost of insurance, gas, just the cost of the car itself, and all the things that come along with it. And that's true, but we all did it. We worked, we saved our money. Sure, everything's more expensive now, but my first job, I was making $3.25 an hour. So, and I had a car. Paid $750 for an MGB GT when I was 15 years old, actually, that I saved. I worked at Hardee's, and I saved that money for about a year to buy that car. Yeah, things are more expensive now, but you're also making, $14 an hour. You're making like 4 times as much money as I was 40 years ago. But the cost doesn't seem to be really the true underlying issue with this. The true underlying issue, just like everything else in this stupid culture that we've built, is social media and the phones have taken away the sense of urgency to go physically hang out with your friends together, because you can just sit in your room in your little jammies and do whatever it is that you're doing. I guess doom scroll at TikTok together. And I guess there's some value to be had in the availability to connect like that, but it's taking away what many of us believe is a fundamental part, not only a fundamental part of what it means, what it is to be human, but what it means, a building block to learning. And if you look around and you see everything from young adults scared to answer the telephone at work, or to make a business telephone call at work, this telephonophobia thing that I saw not too long ago that I want to talk about as well, to the rampant issue with depression and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you think about that. What do we think about these kids not driving?